Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be a cooking vlog. I'll be sharing with you guys how I make my world famous. It's pretty popular around here though, my chili. So this is one of my recipes. I kind of tweak it according to what I have in the house every time I make it, but this is pretty much the standard recipe. Anything that I change is usually something simple, like I may not put the corn in it or something like that. But this is pretty much my usual recipe, outside of some of the seasonings may change up on time to time. But this is how I do my chili, and it usually turns out pretty outstanding, pretty amazing. So if you enjoy cooking videos, then stay tuned. Let me know what you think about the recipe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye. Okay, got our red beans. We have our hamburger chicken. We have our chili seasoning. We have our cornbread. We're going to put a can of black beans in because I like to get black beans in whenever we can. And I'm also going to put a can of corn in. I normally would put frozen corn, but I didn't have any, so we're just going to go with what we had in the pantry. We're going to put these peppers in, the ones that's cut up. I'll store those. And then I'm going to cut up this onion, and I'm also going to put some garlic. I'm going to add some garlic. I didn't feel like cutting any up, but since I have this and I need to use it, I'm going to go ahead and put that in it. Okay, and then I goofed up. This is the only can of tomatoes I have, so I'll show you guys how to work it out when you're making chili and you may not have all the ingredients you need. Okay, so I rinsed the black beans. Okay, and I rinsed the corn. Okay, and so now we have all of our ingredient in the pot, and I did use, in case I didn't tell you, I used kidney beans, and I cooked them from actual beans. So that's why they were in the crock pot. And now I am adding in the tomato sauce, and remember we just had the one can. Typically when I make my chili, I use only cans of tomatoes. Like I'll use crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes. I'll use like different textures of tomatoes. And this time, because I only have the one can, I'll show you what I'm going to do. And this now that I'm adding in is the seasoning package that comes with that little chili, little box of chili seasoning that I had. So that you see laying there, these are the seasonings that were inside of that I'm adding now. And this is cayenne pepper. So I'm trying not to use the entire thing because I don't want the chili to be too hot. My husband and myself, we don't really like our chili extremely hot. So I try to monitor how much heat I add to it. So this is what I'm doing this time, since like I said, I don't have the cans of tomatoes that I usually would put in. I'm just going to add chicken broth to, you know, give it a little more soupiness to the chili. So that's what I did there. And from here, basically, I'll just be, you know, stirring and setting my heat and letting it cook. So, all right, you can watch from here. Okay, and in case you were wondering, I did forget my onion. All right, so we're adding the onion in now. And then we're just gonna let this simmer, get all of our flavors married together. And then this is done because everything that's in here now is cooked. That needs to be cooked. So now we're just kind of allowing our chili to simmer and all of our flavors to come together. And this is our delicious chili. I make the bomb chili, so I'll go ahead and, you know, take a little bow for that, but trust me, this is some good chili. All right. All right, the last couple of things I'm gonna add is a little bit more garlic powder. I added some to my meat. I'm gonna add some to this. And then we're gonna add in, I thought I had some more Tony's, but I don't, because that is what I would have put in. But since I don't, we'll put in some complete seasoning, since that's what I put into my beans. And that'll be the last of the flavor profile for our chili. And I can add, I normally add in some chopped, like diced tomatoes. That's what I don't have to add. So that part is missing because I normally always put some diced tomatoes in here. So I do feel kind of like I'm lacking on that, but otherwise, I mean, it's still good. It doesn't have to have it. It's just a preference. Okay. And I'll show you the other two things I'm gonna add. Okay, so I added some salt. You can see sprinkled on there. It's sea salt and some ketchup. And those are optional. The ketchup I add because it adds just a little bit of sweetness to it. And so that's why I add the ketchup. And now it's perfect. Okay. It's done. I've already tasted it. It's amazing. I will say, as I always say, we're fogging up. Follow the directions exactly the way I did it. And I promise you, it will be amazing. I mean, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. This is some good chili. I mean, it's one of my specialties. Some chili. All right.
color. So for me, what I always do is I start my chicken at 290 and I let that cook
So
for
good.
about 15 or 20 minutes and let it slow
Really,
cook.
really, really good.
Before I close that air fryer, I drizzle either olive oil or avocado oil across the meat. I do it with the wings as well, and it just does something amazing in that slow cook process. So I do 290 for 15, 20 minutes. I might do 290 for another 5 minutes, and then I slowly start turning the temperature up and gradually bring it to full color at the end. So that was very soft and tender. I don't eat a lot of meat, but when I do, to be super thin and full of flavor. Breakfast is served. So I finished the breakfast meal prepping. There's breakfast for my daughter, and then I am going to throw the rest of it in my meal prep containers for later. I'm going to get changed and head to the gym, get this workout started. Super excited about today's workout and can't wait to see you at the gym. During this season where I'm looking to really shed some pounds, I start my day with pink grapefruit juice on an empty stomach. It speeds up my metabolism. You have to be really careful with it though, because you're going to want to eat like a bear going into hibernation. So you have to just be aware that it's going to open your appetite as your metabolism speeds up. Deny yourself the extra calories and you'll start to drop weight. So we're at the gym, ladies. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. So I'm going to start with some stretching. I love this.